welcome to our school YouTube channel. In the previous classes, we already discussed so many concepts of the acid, bases and salts. Remaining concepts of acid, bases and salts we have to discuss in this class. This is the last concept of this chapter. By these concepts we have to conclude that acid, bases and salts. Okay, what is the last concept? pH in everyday life. Applications we have to discuss. Is there any applications, any uses, any advantages, disadvantages with pH in our everyday life? Just we have to check. First, are plants and animals are pH sensitive? Are plants and animals are pH sensitive? Yes, plants and animals are pH sensitive. How they are the sensitive to the pH? Is there is a normal atmosphere, all the animals will be living as well as. But if the conditions of the weather or the atmosphere, that survival of the life of living organisms will become as a difficult. Like that only in the atmosphere, if the pH value is decreased less than 5.6, if the pH value is decreased less than 5.6 pH value, at the time there is a chance to fall acid rains. What is the chance? To fall the acid rains when the pH value is decreasing at less than 5.6. Sir, when it is possible to decrease the 5.6 pH value, it's good, as we are polluting in the different ways in our everyday life. Due to the increasing of the pollution, suppose the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitric oxide, if they release as a more amount into the atmosphere. Suppose if we release carbon dioxide as more, sulfur dioxide as more and nitric oxide as more, its percentage will be increased in the atmosphere. Okay, it's increased the percentage in the atmosphere. These three different kind of the gases, they will react with the moisture. React with the moisture at the time which become as a acid. These gases, when they are combining with moisture, it will be converting into acid, carbonic acid. Which acid? Carbonic acid, sulfuric acid. It's converting into carbonic acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Which acid? Nitric acid. It converts into the three different kinds of the acids in the atmosphere. At the time, what will be happen? The pH value in the atmosphere will be decreasing. pH value in the atmosphere will be decreasing. Suppose if it will decrease the pH value less than 5.6, at the time acid rains will be fall. Which rains will be fall? Acid rains will be fall. Yes, acid rains are falling. When the acid rains are falling on the earth, at the time what will happen? The water will be moving from one place to another place, like that canals will be move and join with the rivers. The river water will be joined with the ocean. Like that, one place to another place, the water will be moving. As due to falling of the acid rain in the particular area, at that particular area, the soil pH value will be changing. Their surrounding area water pH value will be changing. Due to the changing of the pH value of the soil and pH value of the water of that area, at the time it is difficult to live the survival of the life of the living organisms, like that any animals, aquatic animals, maybe that some other small kind of the insects, whatever it may be, living organism survival of the life will be difficult when the pH value will be changed. When the pH value will be changed, due to the falling of the acid rain, due to that only the animals and the plants are sensitive to the pH value. Not only this, living organisms. Suppose so many of the crops are there in our surrounding area. If it will fall the acid rains, what will be happen? All the crops will not grow as well as they will not give the good yield. As what we are expecting, that much amount of the yield will not be get by the acid rains only. Due to the acid rains only, which will not grow as properly. The crop also we will get a very less quantity as due to the acid rains only. When the acid rain is chanced to fall, when the pH value is less than 5.6 at the time only there is chance to fall. Which kind of the gases or reasons for these? Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and nitric oxide. Which oxide? Nitric oxide. These three gases are responsible for that. It is in the first application. Second one, suppose pH value is less than 5.5 in our mouth at the time, which cause the tooth decay. It caused our tooth decay. Actually, we have the good habits as how many times you will be taking the brushing in every day. As myself only one time. What about you? As yourself also only in one time in the morning only. As automatically within fraction of seconds you will be complete your the brushing. Yes, am I right? Yes, it is right. As actually we have to do the brush every day as a twice in the morning, in the night, before sleeping, after sleeping. Yes, but we are doing after sleep. Yes, after getting up in the morning only we are doing the brush. Before sleeping at the night we are not doing our brushing. But we have to make it now onwards because of after finishing of our dinner, so many of the food components will be present around surrounding of our teeth. As suppose our mouth is so many of the teeth are there like this. As small kind of the particles will be present in this area. Small particles of the food will be present at this area. As our duty is what we can sleep as well as in the night. As after sleeping, the bacteria, microorganisms, what will present in our mouth? As lakhs of the bacteria will be microorganisms are there in our mouth. As night duty will be starting, they will be come to nearby this food component. Suppose I am enlarging this food component. The microorganism coming to here and breaking into the small pieces. When it will break into the small pieces at the time, some kind of the acids will be releasing. Some kind of the acids will be releasing in our mouth. As every day after getting up in the morning, just you have to check out your smell of your mouth. You will be getting something as a different smell we can get due to the reason of the releasing of the acids in your mouth because of some microorganisms are breaking the food components into the small pieces. Due to the releasing of the acid, the pH value of the mouth will be decreasing. Suppose like that only gradually the acid amount is increasing at the time, pH value will be decreasing. If the pH value will be decreasing less than 5.5 at the time, tooth will become as a decay. Actually our tooth enamel is made up of with calcium phosphate. It is only the strongest part of our body. That also will become as a decay due to the decreasing of the pH value is less than 5.5. That's why we have to make now onwards how many times the brush in every day? Twice in the morning and the night also. Otherwise our tooth will become as a decay. Did you get my point? This is the concept in the exam point of view. There is a chance to ask if the pH value is 5.5 less than, tooth will be decay. If the pH value is less than 5.6, it will cause the acid rains only. What that? Acid rains only. Third one is in our stomach is acids also releasing. Which kind of the acid will be releasing in our stomach? Hydrochloric acid. Which acid? Hydrochloric acid will be released in our stomach. is it help for the digestive process. Suppose while you eat different kind of the food materials, you will be eat everything how we can digest. Suppose when we are eating the non-veg at the time, some kind of the small bones and small stones of the rice, everything will be entering into our stomach. How it will be digested by the hydrochloric acid. By the hydrochloric acid, it will be digested. What we are eating, what kind of the components are entering into our stomach, that everything will be digested by the hydrochloric acid. But due to improper punctuality of the food intaking, otherwise different kinds of the food, due to that only some time percentage of the acids will be increasing. Suppose you are always eating the junk foods, always eating the non-veg, as different kind of the food you are eating. Due to that only the more amount will be increasing to release in our body. At the time what will be happen, acids levels will be increasing in our body. Due to the increasing of the acid levels, what will be happen, it cause the acidity. What will cause? It cause the acidity. As when it is cause acidity, at the time we have to take the milk of magnesia. What is that? Milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide, milk of magnesia we have to take. When we take the milk of magnesia, as you will get an advertisement, Eno packet, the Eno packet, that is the presence of the milk of magnesia only. Milk of magnesia only. It will be reacting with acid only. As at the time acid and base both also reacting, and it become as a neutralize. Become as a what? Neutralize. In advertisement you can get the information about the Eno. The Eno consisting is what? Magnesium hydroxide, which called as a milk of magnesia. When the acid levels are increasing in our body, we have to take this one. It is work as an anti-acid. It work as an anti-acid only. That we have to remember. When we increase the acid levels in our body, we have to take as an agonist. As milk of magnesia, it is working as an anti-acid. At the time both also will become as a what? Neutral. Both also become as a what? Neutral. At the time there is no problem. Okay, next one. Soil. Is there any effect with the pH to the soil? There is some of the effect to the soil due to the change of the pH value. Suppose Nirmal, Adilabad, otherwise some other districts, Karimnagar or Warangal, like Rangareddy. Compared to our districts, in our area we can get the soya bean, cotton like that only. But in some other district they can get the different kinds of the crops. Why they are producing the different kinds of the crops in that district? Why we are producing here the cotton and soya bean only? If we try to grow the some other kind of the crops in our area, can we get that more amount of the yield from our soil? No, because of our soil pH value is different from the other district soil pH values only. Yes, when we comparing our soil pH value with other district pH value of the soil, it will be different. It will be various because of that area is different. This area will be different due to the change of the pH value of the one area to another area. We can get the different kinds of the crops only. That means pH also play an important role in to get the different kinds of the crops yields in our everyday life only. What kind of the applications we discuss? One thing only about the acid rains. Again one thing about the tooth decay. Again one thing in our stomach, the hydrochloric acid will be releasing. It helps in the digestive process. Again one comparing the one area to other area, the soil pH values also varies from one place to another place. Due to that only different kinds of the plants, different kinds of the crops will be growing, and it should be various from one place to another place. That things we have to remember. Next concept, family of salts, is a family of salts. Is in the ocean, which kind of the salts we can get in the large amount? Sodium chloride we can get in the large amount from the ocean only. Yes, which one we can get? Sodium chloride we can get. By the sodium chloride we can get the different kinds of the salts. It is work as a raw material. By the using of the sodium chloride, we can produce the different kinds of the salts in our everyday life. Is how we can produce by the electrolysis of sodium chloride. At the time, it will be break into the sodium and chlorine ions. To break into the sodium and chlorine ion, sodium plus and chlorine minus. Due to the utilizing of the sodium and chlorine ions, we can produce the other different kinds of the salts in our everyday life. Which kind of the salts we can get from the sodium chloride? Sodium hydroxide is also called as a caustic soda. Caustic soda, sodium hydroxide we can get, and sodium carbonate Na2CO3 we can get. Again one NaHCO3 we can get. Sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, like the bleaching powder CaOCl2. Is again plaster of Paris. Different kinds of the salts we can get by the utilizing of these sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, plaster of Paris. Again one bleaching powder. Different kinds of the salts we can get from the sodium chloride only. In the exam point of view, in the annual examination, one of 2 mark question from these concepts. Its application, that means uses only asking in our examination, that we have to discuss. Okay, first thing, this is sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. Is how we can get the sodium carbonate by the utilizing of the sodium chloride only. We can get the sodium carbonate. Suppose if we break the sodium bicarbonate also, is from that we can get the sodium carbonate also. What are the applications in our everyday life of the sodium carbonate? What purpose we can use this sodium carbonate? Is in the preparation of the glass. That means the glass industries we can use this sodium carbonate. Glass industry and paper industry, again one soap industry. Is we can use this sodium carbonate in the glass, paper, soap industries. In these 3 industries also we can use this sodium carbonate. We have to remember of this concept. What is that? Where we are using this sodium carbonate? In the glass, in the paper, in the soap industries we are using this sodium carbonate only. It's also called as a washing soda, not eating soda. Washing soda. Is again what purpose we can use this one? Again to remove the hardness of the water. To remove the hardness of the water, we have to use the sodium carbonate only. Most important this one is what purpose we can use the hardness of the water. In the preparation of borax compound, that purpose also we can use the sodium carbonate only. We can use the sodium carbonate only. What purpose? In the preparation of the borax compounds only. These 5 things you have to remember. You will get directly 2 marks in the examination. What are the applications of the sodium carbonate? Otherwise, what are the uses uses of the sodium carbonate in our everyday life. We are using in the glass, paper, soap industries, and we have to remove the hardness of the water, and we have to use in the preparation of the borax compound only. Yes, it is the applications of the sodium carbonate, which also called as a washing soda. Next one, sodium bicarbonate. What purpose we can use the sodium bicarbonate? Simply we have to call as a eating soda. Eating soda in the preparation of the food, we can use the sodium bicarbonate eating soda. As when we go to any restaurant and hotel, while we take the rice, they are adding the sodium bicarbonate. As in the preparation of the food, they are using not only in the rice, as while we preparing puri, bhaji, whatever it may be, the size will be increasing of the things. How it will be increasing while they adding that sodium bicarbonate? When we are heating on the oil, the puri, bhaji, whatever it may be, at the time what will be happen? The carbon dioxide gas will be releasing from the sodium bicarbonate. Which gas will be releasing? Carbon dioxide gas will be releasing from these. Due to releasing of the carbon dioxide from that component of food material, that size of the food components will be increasing. Simply you have to remember in the preparation of the different kinds of the food, and especially to prepare in the cakes. Is to prepare the cake, the trend is changing. Every day there is someone birthday is there of your friends. As every day you are celebrating the birthdays by the using of these cakes only. As when you think about the cake, you have to remember in your mind what is that they are adding that word sodium bicarbonate. In this way you have to apply to your everyday life. You will be remember of this concept. As when you think about birthday, you should be get the idea of the cake. As if you get the idea after the cake, you have to remember there is a presence of the sodium bicarbonate in that one. As which also work as an antiseptic. What purpose? Antiseptic. As which also work as an antiseptic purpose. Again, one in the fire engines they can use. Which engine? Fire engine only. They can use the sodium bicarbonate because of from the sodium bicarbonate, carbon dioxide gas will be releasing. The carbon dioxide have the capacity to prevent the burning of the fire. It can be prevent the burning of the fire. Due to that only the sodium bicarbonate should be using in the fire engine. These are the applications of the sodium bicarbonate. Food preparation, cakes preparation, working as a antiseptic. Again, one in the fire engine also they can use of the sodium bicarbonate. These things also we have to remember. How we can make, how we prepare sodium carbonate from the sodium chloride only. We can make this sodium bicarbonate also from the sodium chloride. To this sodium chloride, we have to add the water and carbon dioxide and ammonia. When we add the water, carbon dioxide, ammonia to this sodium chloride, we can get that sodium bicarbonate. We have to remember this concept. Again, one bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. Yes, in everyday life we can use this bleaching powder. Sometimes, yes, from our municipality or gram panchayat, the water will be come by the taps only. It will be get some different kind of the smell. What is the reason for the different kind of the smell? Which water we are getting from the municipality or gram panchayat? Due to the reason of the addition of the bleaching powder to that one, to the bleaching powder. Yes, they will be added for every 15 days or 1 month. Yes, for them convenience only. Due to the addition of the bleaching powder, the chlorine gas will be releasing. Which gas will be releasing? Chlorine gas will be releasing. These chlorine gas will be kill the microorganisms which is present in the water. Yes, this process we have to know as a what? Chlorination. This process we have to know as a what? Chlorination process. We have to know as a chlorination. Adding bleaching powder and killing microorganisms due to the releasing of the chlorine gas is known as a chlorination process. Yes, for the chlorination process we have to use And what purpose we can use this bleaching powder? It is working as an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is oxidizing agent, and is from the cotton industry also we can use. What purpose? Bleach the cotton, bleach the paper, bleach the paper, bleach the cotton and bleach the paper. That's mean they are using in the cotton industries and the paper industries for the bleaching of the cotton, for the bleaching of the paper and cotton only we are using that what bleaching powder only we can use. We can use this bleaching powder to prepare some kind of the anesthesia drugs. Some kind of the anesthesia drugs purpose also we can use this bleaching powder only. What we can use bleaching powder also, we can use the different kinds of the anesthesia drugs preparation also. That also we have to remember the application of the bleaching powder. Next one, plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is the plaster of Paris CaSO4 of H2O. Here, how many moles of water is there? Half mole of the water is there. That means salts they consisting the particular fixed amount of the water molecule in the formula. Is what I am doing. Salts they consisting the fixed amount of the water molecules in the formula. This we have to know as a crystal lattice. We have to know as what? Crystal lattice. CaSO4 consisting of mole of water. CuSO4 consisting 5 moles of water. Sodium carbonate Na2CO3 consisting 10 moles of water. Magnesium sulfate consisting 7 moles of water. Again gypsum from these by the addition of the 1.5 moles of water we can get CaSO4 2 moles of water. Which we have to call as a gypsum, which we have to call as a plaster of Paris. Here 2 moles of water, here 1.5 moles of water, here copper sulfate 5 moles of water, sodium carbonate 10 moles of water, magnesium sulfate 7 moles of water. That means the salts they consisting the fixed amount of the water molecules in the formula that we have to know as what? Crystal lattice. Crystal lattice that we have to remember. Okay. Here we are discussing about the plaster of Paris. What purpose we are using the plaster of Paris? If our hands and legs will be broke at the time, if we go to near the hospital, the doctor will be tie something to our hand and leg when it will break. When our hands and legs will be break, at the time the doctor will be tying some kind of things. That is what that's made up of with the what? Plaster of Paris only. That's made up of with what? Plaster of Paris only. That is also we have to remember. And this plaster of Paris also we have to use in the preparation of the ceiling of our house for the decoration. Ceiling purpose only we can use in our house. They are the ceiling. They are making the ceiling due to the what? Plaster of Paris only. Again, one to prepare the different kinds of the statues is like the Vinayaka, Durga Mata, other small kind of the dolls they are preparing by the using of the plaster of Paris only. Again, one water filter candles, it's also used in the water filter candles also. Ganga water filter is there in our house. In that candles are filtering the water. And what they are using plaster of Paris only they are using in the water filter candles also. These are the applications of the plaster of Paris only. Just I told one point, when we add 1.5 moles of the water, it become has a 2 moles. Half moles plus 1.5 moles mean total 2 moles of water. At the time it become has a gypsum. It become has a gypsum. The gypsum should be present in the cement only. The gypsum should be present at where? Cement only. Is last one concept of crystallization. What is meant by the crystallization? crystallization. Here what I told, the crystals of salts, they consisting the some amount of the water. We have to remove that water from that salt component. Suppose just you know how to take that these copper sulfate. When we take this copper sulfate in the beaker, the color of the copper sulfate will be the blue color. Which color? Blue color. But when we heat on the Bunsen burner, is due to the heating on the Bunsen burner, these copper sulfate lose the amount of the water. It lose the what? Water will be loose when we heat the copper sulfate on the Bunsen burner. At the time, what will happen? It become as a white color. This copper sulfate color will become as a which color? White color. Why it become as a white color? Due to the losing of the water molecules from these, the blue color converting into which color? White color. So, if I add some amount of the water to this, again which kind of the color we can get? Same blue color we can get. Because of you added the water molecules, again they will do that only. Again it will get the which color? Blue color we can get. Here crystallization means from the crystals we are removing the water. It's from the crystals we have to remove the water only. What is the indication to remove, to add color will be changing? That is only the indication to remove the water from the particular salts only. Crystallization means we have to make into completely dry form. That's when we have to remove that water from the salts only. These are the concepts of the acid, bases, salts of the today class. Yes, we discussed so many of the components. Every topic also I covered in this chapter from the beginning class to this class. That's why you have to listen our class as carefully. Just you have to write that only running notes, not in fair notes. Only you have to send to the school only running notes only. Just I will check that running notes only after reopen the school. Otherwise in the next month only I will give you some kind of the question. Yes, some kind of the question by myself. That kind of the questions for only you have to write the answers in the textbook. You should not copy any answers from the textbook. You should not copy any answers from the guide. Yes. When I will tell at that time only you have to write that fair notes. I will prepare some kind of the particular questions to write the fair notes only. Okay. Thank you. Bye.